Wow, this chapter of Taizai. Let's take a moment to think about this golem for a second. This golem's power level is 5,500. That is the power level of this golem. Merlin stacks up at 4,700 and I think 20, but 4,700 something. Meliodas, 3,300 something. Let me repeat that. This beast, this golem, this machine that was created by the Demon Clan, has a power level of 5,500. Now, let me put this in a larger perspective. This is a golem. A golem that was just created by someone, something. Demon Clan, for instance. And whoever created this golem has to be stronger than that golem. So, this puts in perspective of the power levels of the Ten Commandments. Because if the Ten Commandments work directly underneath the Demon King, that means their power levels are one of the strongest in the Demon Clan. And so, how the hell is the Sin supposed to fight the demons, like the Ten Commandments? Because we don't know exactly where this golem stacks up when it comes to the Demon Clan. We have no idea. We don't know if this is fodder tier type golem like power level. Like, I mean, all we know is that this golem's power level 5,500 is fodder tier to demons. We have no idea. That could be like a standard soldier type power level to demons. So we still have no idea, no information about this Demon Clan. But the thing is that Meliodas and the Sins' power is weaker than this beast, this golem. Merlin's the strongest, is so far what we can see from all the power levels that have been checked. So if Merlin can't even beat this thing in power level, how the hell are you going to win? So, that's just really, really shocking. But here's the thing you can also place into this chapter. Meliodas gets his sacred treasure at the end of this chapter, which I think it's about time. I think it's about damn time he actually got his sacred treasure. Because, I mean, let's be real here. It's been 115 freaking chapters, and he has never once, not once, shown his maximum. He's never shown his maximum potential. Even when he went into his demon mode, he was still transforming. We have never seen Meliodas' maximum power. And even then, with Meliodas getting this sword and all that, to where he can finally fight with his maximum potential, he can actually tap into this giant lake of power, something is still missing from Meliodas, because Merlin has that, from what Merlin said in this chapter. So, this sacred treasure isn't what Merlin was talking about, like last chapter or the chapter beforehand. It's not whatever Merlin has taken from Meliodas. So, what is this? Like, I want to take a theory, actually. I want to take a theory, I want to guess this. I'm assuming whatever Merlin took from Meliodas, since it's not a sacred treasure, since it's been revealed that it's not, I'm assuming what Merlin took was some form of control over Meliodas' demonic power. I'm assuming that. Because we do know that Merlin is infatuated with demon-related objects. Because, I mean, she was using demon magic to heal the king and stuff like that. So, you can assume that she likes demon stuff. And I'm guessing she might have stole or might have taken the sense of reason from Meliodas when, you know, he goes into demon mode. That might explain why he was going all crazy when he transformed. I'm assuming that's what she took from him. I'm assuming that's what it is. But, I mean, it could be something else. We have no idea. But that's just one thing you got to really put into a larger perspective. So Meliodas is still not even at maximum power, even with this sacred treasure. So, yeah, also something that's never been clarified either, like it's never been clarified at all since the introduction of Balor's Eye. We can assume since Merlin has her sacred treasure, that's why she has her power level at like 4,000. And so I wonder if Meliodas' power level will go up since he now has his sacred treasure. Since he now has it in his hand, it makes me assume his power level might raise since he has the sacred treasure. So anyways, the chapter, it's action-orientated. That's what this chapter is. You get to see how Meliodas is going in, you know, Merlin, Meliodas, and all that are trying to stop this golem from crushing Camelot and destroying it. And Arthur took a beating in this. Like, yo. Did you see what happened to Arthur in this chapter? Like, I want to take a moment to point that out. Arthur got crushed between the golem. Like, the golem had, like, his arm, and he crushed Arthur between his, like, arm, and you see Arthur get crushed, like, his lower half and all that, and you see him, and all of a sudden, after that panel, Meliodas says, like, oh, that dude's made of some sturdy stuff, are you okay, Arthur? And so, Arthur took that like a champ, like, he wasn't even hurt. Did you see how he acted after he got crushed? He didn't even feel it. So, yo, Arthur, what the hell, man? Like, he survived that hit. Like, Merlin was kind of worried. She said Arthur, so Merlin was slightly worried. But the thing was, is this dude took it like a champ, like he wasn't even hurt at all. So what the hell is Arthur? Is he a regular human? Or is he something else? Or does he have a really strong defensive type magic around him? Because to him to take a blow like that, like if Bond would have took that blow, he probably would have been crushed in half. Let's just be honest here, he would have. And King would have been probably KO'd if he was crunched like that. So, whoa, like what is Arthur to be able to survive a hit like that? Because Meliodas put emphasis on that in a certain panel, so I'm assuming that might be Nakaba foreshadowing. I'm assuming. So, yeah. Next thing I want to move on to is the shield. The shield around Camelot. And that right there, damn. So Merlin demonstrates once again her power. Like her extreme magic. And that is something, it still shocks me every time I get to see the display of Merlin's magic. What's really shocking, and you gotta put it in bigger perspective, is she put an entire barrier on top of this city. And she states that because she put this barrier on the top of the entire city, she expanded the barrier to where it's thinned out, so the barrier is not as strong as it could be. And what's even more surprising is that this dude, like this golem, it has a power level of 5,500. Merlin has a power level of 4,700. And she said that this barrier, even though it's been thinned out almost to the maximum potential, it can take 3 to 4 blows by this thing. So, you're telling me, like, someone that is, like, a regular 3,000 power level, they would be kind of fucked to even try to mess with this barrier. Like, let's think about that for a second, okay? If Merlin can block a strength and power of that stature of 5,500, even though she is weaker and she has thinned out this barrier to the maximum, imagine how strong Merlin's barrier is if she encases herself in that barrier. Imagine how much, damage or how much, abuse Merlin could take if she covered herself in a barrier, a small little barrier covering her body, or, skin-tight barrier. Imagine if she did that. So, you gotta put that in perspective, like, Merlin is O-fucking-P to be able to even block that thing's attack. Like, whoa, Nakaba, man, you're giving Merlin the feats. Merlin has these feats of strength and just magic power, like, my god. And so, yeah, that's pretty much this chapter of, the 7 Deadly Sins. Tell me your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.